Hey everybody, this is Josh. Welcome to Game 4 of Week 25, the V. This is Game 4 in a best of 7. The V is hosted by Complexity Gaming, sponsored by Creative Sound Blaster, PNY, and CupadUSA.com. I'm AskJoshy. I cast it each and every week. You can check out my stuff on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube.com/AskJoshy. But right now, we have a very good series going on between RGN.Spades and Team.Attero. Spades is our blue Terran here on the left side of Metalopolis. He is our reigning champion after defeating Vile Hawk last week 4-2. He earned himself $100 and the chance to play again this week against the new challenger. It is Team.Attero. Just ignore that big dream that he's got in front of his name. That was his former team, and name changes can be kind of pesky on Battle.net. But Attero already sending a probe out. Could it be a cannon rush? I just kind of hope it is. I really actually kind of hope that this is a cannon rush, but Attero is winning the series 2-1 so far. They just played a about 20-25 minute game on Terminus. Attero tried to hide an expansion, but he lost his whole army attacking into Spades. Spades basically just had enough left over to go kill Attero. He's going to go for that close flying positions and not find anything, so he does know through the process of elimination where his opponent Spades is. He has not even built a pylon yet? No, he has built a pylon. It is going to be a gateway first, unfortunately. I was really hoping to see a cannon rush. Perhaps he only wanted to do it if Spades was at that close flying position, but he's going to get the scout in anyway to see what's going on. Spades also sending a little bit earlier scout than he usually does just to make sure he can find Attero quickly. Looks like Assimilator and Refinery both going up for each player respectively, doing very standard things thus far. Still kind of wish it was a cannon rush. Attero, you could cancel your gateway and build a forge instead, just so I have something fun to cast. But Spades is going to check the incorrect direction, close flying positions, and then head over to Attero's main, which is rather boring at the moment. Just probes so far. Gateway just about to finish. Here comes that Cybernetics core following up. Spades back at home, getting his orbital command flipped over and that first Marine, like you always see. Supply depot already up at the ramp, makes me think another supply depot in a bunker could be possible. We did see him do that on the first map, Crossfire SE. This probe might actually be killed by that single Marine if Spades micros it well enough. Attero going to jump into the fog, into the smoke screen. Spades is going back to the ramp, so he'll be able to make sure that that probe never leaves. And yeah, the probe's already got its shields back, so he may actually be able to scoot past this Marine and save his life. Nope. He goes up in a puff of blue smoke. And the Zealot was unable to catch the SCV, so Spades does have a little bit of a one-up on Attero so far. Well played, sir. Well played. .org. Chrono boosting out a Stalker right now, working off of just one gas. This is a little bit different than usual. Sometimes you'll see that out of Attero, but most times you'll see the Chrono boost constantly on the Nexus to get those probes out a little bit faster. I'm kind of surprised that he's doing that. Is he going to add on more production structures, or is he going to drop that natural like we always see him do? Nope, it is going to be the natural Nexus. You can see him getting close to 400 minerals, and he just sends that probe on over. There it goes. Spades also expanding pretty quickly here at his own natural. He is supply blocked once again. Once this Marauder finishes, he will not be able to build anything else. He needs to build more supply depots. Stop getting supply block, Spades. Another barracks going up now. Might as well spend those minerals while you got them. He's got 3 total coming up. Tech Lab already finished on the first one, so he might be going that Tech Lab reactor that we see so often out of Spades. Dooba-doop, dooba-doop. And the Zealot saw the Marauders. The Marauders did see the Zealot, so the Zealot's going to have to run away. Spades says, where are you going? He doesn't have... Oh, he does have concussive shells, so yeah, if the Zealot got spotted, he was going to be dead for sure. Attero building up 2 more gateways now, going up to 3 total. Robotics facility most likely going to be the next thing we see, unless he feels like fortifying and going all the way up to 6 gates relatively quickly. Spades not doing anything too tricky himself, just going for mass bio MMM once again. He was kind of close to winning that second map with MMM, and of course he did win the third map with MMM, so not a surprise really to see him favoring that build. Everything's starting to flip over now for these warp gates. Gateway number 4 is done. No robotics facility still, so I'm still curious if he's going to go up to 5 and 6. Another assimilator finally being built. I'm surprised that he actually didn't have that sooner as well. Gateway number 3, assimilator number 3, excuse me, being built here at the Natural, back in Spades base. Combat shields almost complete. Lots of Marines being created from these 3 barracks. This one still doesn't have an add-on of its own. He's just super jealous of reactor barracks and tech lab barracks because he doesn't have his own. He doesn't know what to do. Engineering bay going up now for Spades. Could start rolling that +1 attack upgrade and build a turret or 2. That's usually what we see him do. Attero, actually Team Dynamic Attero, excuse me, building a pylon there at this very, very typical spot over at the gold base, and now coming along with a decent sized gateway force. He is going pretty much full on 4-gate, but he did expand, so it's a little bit slower, but it's a little bit more sustainable and a little bit more viable for a mid game in case the 4-gate fails. This is going to be kind of interesting. Don't know how well this is actually going to go for him. He's going to need that Guardian Shield. He doesn't have nearly enough units to win this fight just by looking at it, but good force fields could help sway the battle. He is going to take out that SCV, repairing the bunker. The bunker goes down. Lots of Stalkers here. Bunker number 2 is at 100% though, and Attero is going to be repelled while these SCVs repair bunker number 2. 3 Zealots and a Stalker being warped in from that gold base now, so we'll see if he's going to be able to continue this assault or head back home. Bunker being replaced here at the front line. I don't think he's going to be allowed to finish that before Attero gets back in here, though. Here come the Stalker shots, and SCVs being pulled off the line once again. There goes 1 Marine, 2 Marines getting killed quite quickly. A Zealot goes down. Both players just doing a battle of attrition right now while Attero tries to get busy back at home, teching up with that robotics facility and a 4th assimilator. Another Marine goes down. It looks like another Zealot may be in trouble here in just a moment. Force field at the bottom of the ramp, not really doing too much work there, but with this turret here, it actually is blocking some units. Another round of warp-ins. All Stalkers now against all Marauders. This Marauder does not stand a chance. There he goes, getting shot in the back. A Marauder on the high ground is a good decision, though. With that concussive shell, is basically free damage, free hits, and Attero has no way of seeing up on the cliff there. Factory about to finish for Spades should allow him to get up to that starport and start cranking out some medevacs in just a moment. Robotics Bay being built for Attero, so he did actually use that time wisely, getting some tech up. He does have a lot of Tier 1 forces still intact as well. Let's just look at units lost because I'm curious about how that attrition actually went. About the same, actually. Units lost, it looks like Spades lost a couple more, worth a little bit more, so good trade there for Attero. Also allowed him to get all that tech up a little bit faster than Spades. I mean, his starport is just now coming along, and that robotics bay is going to be done around the same time. We've got 6 Stalkers, 6 Sentries, and 5 Zealots. I was really hoping for 6 Zealots there, just so we'd have 666, which is a fun number. It's the mark of the beast, if you didn't know. Observer coming across now, going to take a look in Spades base, see absolutely everything. All these supply depots, all these SCVs just tending to their daily lives of gathering minerals, and all these Marines and Marauders just chilling. As long as he stays away from that turret, the Observer will gain valuable information on these pesky humans. More medevacs being cranked out of the reactor's starport. Factory doing some scouting north. I guess he's looking for some proxy pylons, perhaps. Attero is going to drop a 3rd base relatively quickly compared to Spades. +1 weapons, about halfway done for Spades as he continues to make just MMM all day long. Observer just hanging out over the top of Spades base. He's seeing everything there is to see. 5 barracks total. That factory is floating around in space somewhere, and more medevacs are being produced each and every moment. Back in Attero's base, he does have a Colossus up finally, and an extended thermal lance upgrade is on the way. +1 attacks as well being researched. Let's look at the harvester count, 56 against 46. That's basically the entire supply lead that Attero has right now, so he needs to stay on top of that. Lots of Marines and Marauders headed through the middle of the map. Not sure where they're going. They're actually leaving from that gold base area of Attero. I'm not sure why or what they're worried about. This factory is still going to scout and eventually make it into Attero's main and see everything that there is to see in there. 3 pylons down for Attero at his 3rd base. Kind of interesting as this Nexus is about to come online. Attero should feel pretty confident with the fighting force that he's got already. +1 weapon is going to be done in just a moment. Actually, about the same time as those Terran level 1 weapons from Spades. Command center being built here between the Natural and the 3rd, so he'll be able to Grab some more minerals, of course. Flip it over to an orbital command. Get more mules. 4 Stalkers warped in at the gold base. Attero is headed over once again with quite a lot of gateway units and 4 Colossi total. Here comes that 4th one, bringing up the rear there. Looks like Spades is not going to actually see any of this until they reach all the way over. His army was a little bit out of position. Attero had to like that as he continues to move in. Are we going to see another big base attack here from Attero? Just like we saw in Terminus, he needs to be a little bit more careful this time around. Guardian Shields and Force Fields are going to be key. Still no Guardian Shields. All of Spades' damage is range right now. Guardian Shield would help him so very much, but he did drop a ton of Force Fields that are also helping. Just seeing no Guardian Shields is upsetting me a little bit. 3 Vikings taking free shots at the Colossi. He's down to only 2 now. This is the last one with only 3 kills, means that Attero is most likely going to get cleaned out once again. There's a Guardian Shield super late on that sentry, and everything is now dead. Attero warped in 4 more Stalkers, but not going to actually be able to use them. He's 16 workers up, which means Spades has about 30 more army supply right now. Once again, just not the best attack in the world coming out of Attero. 1-0 upgrades on Spades units and 1-0 upgrades on Attero's units. Did that SCV kill a Colossus? It's very possible. They were attacking, but I believe Vikings were doing the bulk of the damage there. This one is actually going to turn into a planetary fortress and not an orbital command. Attero is going to try and be a little bit risky here and take the gold base near the center of the map. Unfortunately for Attero, he took it while a Marine was watching the entire thing. So Spades is going to run over here with everything he has left. He's got plenty of medevacs and Vikings in case a Colossus randomly shows up. There's 2 in production now. Attero's, there's no way he's going to be able to keep this Nexus. He already cancels it. Good move there. I would have been a little upset if he just let it die. There goes that pylon. No big deal. Spades going to keep on trucking through. No, actually he's going to head back home. A little bit surprising. He could actually come shut down this 3rd completely if he so chose to. Spades' own 3rd base is up and running quite well now. Attero's only ahead by 27 harvesters, which means he's really at about 103 here. Kind of a difficult spot to be in when you're down by that much army supply. My voice is actually starting to give out a little bit. Nexus number 4 being built for Attero. He's very, very macro-focused. That's saying something. At least his engagements could be a little bit better. He could actually start rolling some of these upgrades as well. Zealot Charge and Blink Stalkers would both be quite good to have at this point. Another Colossus about to pop out here. We got observers kind of checking things out around the map. Spades is going to be maxed relatively soon with a 1-1 army. These Vikings just going to do their job, take care of those Colossi. Attero trying to expand once again. Don't know how he's going to be able to do. Not sure what Spades just saw that spooked him into backing up either. I'm going to take a drink of water just a second. Delicious water. Revitalizing my vocal cords. And Tech Lab's going up on 2 more barracks here for Spades. He's starting to crank out those ghosts now, so those EMP splashes will be very difficult for Attero to deal with. He does not have a Templar Archive that I know of. Robotics Bay, Twilight Council, Forge. Do not see a Templar Archive anywhere, so that could be very difficult to stop ghosts without feedback. This is a very high Colossus count, though. That's at least he's got that going for him. Planetary Fortress at Spades, just looking menacing. And Soviet Russia, expansion guards you. Factory starting to get in on the action. He hasn't lost this one yet, unlike the previous games, so he's going to peek in very slowly but surely. Eventually see what's up in there. 5th base coming up now at that bottom spawn for Attero. He's taking his entire half of the map, and the Stalkers happen upon the factory. Oh no, factory, you better get out of there. Those Stalkers are going to shoot lasers into your backside. Not going to get it burning just yet, though, so the factory will survive to scout another day. Look at this huge, formidable force. Oh my god, there's so many Vikings. There's 10 Vikings and 1 billion Marauders here in Spades' force. He's got ghosts in the mix as well. Let me just double-click that little fella. We see 3 ghosts, lots of energy on one of them, enough for about 4 EMPs, maybe 5, if they get in a big encounter. Attero's entire fighting force is over here in front of his natural, and it's made up of 9 Colossi. 9 Colossi against 10 Vikings. You guys, I don't know who's going to win that engagement, but Ghost EMPs are definitely going to make the difference. We don't have any sentries anymore, only 2 sentries here for Guardian Shield and some force fields. They don't appear to have a billion energy, so this could be very gruesome in just a moment. Spades now really getting into the swing of things. He can just move forward and kill whatever he wants with this imminent ball, but here we go. Here's the big engagement. Going to double click these Colossi just so we can see their health, and they're falling extremely quickly to these Vikings. There's not enough anti-air, but all the ground force is actually getting nuked down very quickly. EMPs did land. There's only 3 Colossi left. They're going to be powerless, but we do have 7 Stalkers on the right side, taking out the last of the Ghosts. Now going to be able to take out these Vikings as well. If Attero just had Blink, he'd be able to take out so many more of these Vikings and Medevacs. I'm so surprised that Spades lost his entire fighting force there. And Attero actually comes up with 9 Stalkers still intact. All these Vikings just floating around useless for the time being. I'm not sure. Yeah, Attero is actually rebuilding those Colossi, and Psystorm appears to have just finished. Where'd you go, Templar Archive? I saw you somewhere. There you are, over at the 3rd base, of course. Why not? So Psionic Storm is done, still no blink or charge, +3/+3 started now for Spades bio units, 3-2 already on Attero's units. He could get that last armor upgrade and even a shield, but he's spending so much money right now on those Colossi and those High Templar, trying to get so much splash. A-clicking and then going AFK, that could actually be the strategy, I don't know. They're way better players than me. Let's look at the APM of each, actually. Both of them hovering over 100. Spades and nearly 200 there. But here we go. Oh, no, these Colossi are so far out of position. The Vikings can just go kill them. They don't even realize it because the Stalkers are so far back. The Vikings, oh, they take 1 big volley, 2 big volleys. 1 more little rocket would have killed that Colossus. Attero, you're so risky. I don't know why you did that. But this Planetary Fortress is going to be extremely hard to get around and take out if Attero is planning on doing that. How many High Templar do we have? 10 High Templar? Really? 10 High Templar, all gathering energy right now for some massive storms in just a couple of minutes. We'll see how that ends up taking place, taking shape. So many High Templar, Jesus. I really hope he can do something good here because that game on Terminus just wasn't very pretty. The storms were just not effective enough, and still actually no sentries in this unit composition at all anymore. The Vikings are waiting for the Colossus. Oh my god, 1 more volley would have killed that one as well. 0-0 upgrades on the Vikings. He doesn't even need them. 3-3 is going to be done here soon, plus 3 ground armor for Attero going to be done soon. Charge also finishing up. Spadesy, what you gonna do? He's gonna move right in with those Vikings first. The Colossi are in the back. Here comes some big storms, although I did see some EMP splashes as well. Let's look at these High Templar. None of them have any energy. None have enough for a storm. Only 1 is enough for feedback even, and that most likely is gonna mean the end of this game. 3-3 is gonna trigger during the attack, it looks like, and Spade still has just so much alive. He's near maxed, while Attero's only at 130 supply, and a lot of that is tied up in probes. Remember, 81 of it is tied up in probes, so all these High Templar are trying to regain their energy, but all these Marauders just crashing through these production structures, going to make him lose this Nexus as well. Some of them even push up onto the high ground. Vikings looking for juicy Colossi to kill. Another big EMP lands on the Stalkers from the low ground. These Ghosts could actually be shooting back up, but Spades takes out the natural, now moves up the ramp with the bulk of his forces. If 1 big storm does land, but there's so many medevacs here still healing up, I don't think Attero's going to have enough. He's sitting at 3-2 upgrade. Spades triggered his 3-3, so now he is going to blast down the last of these Stalkers. He's got an Archon to pick off that's actually stuck between buildings. And this, I think, is going to be it for Game 4 and momentarily. He's going to take out all these pylons, try to supply block him, take out the robotics bay. Actually, not take out the robotics bay, just the pylons, so everything is unpowered. And now Attero basically left with only 4 gateways. He's getting +1 Protoss shields level 1. That's going to be interesting. More Marauders taking out the gold base. I don't know how Attero thinks he's going to fight his way back from this one. But that, ladies and gentlemen, was Game 4. So Game 5 is going to have to be Attero's place to try and get back that mojo that he had working in the first 2 games. Spades taking games 3 and 4 looks to be on quite a roll now, taking out all these gateways. Looks like some charge lots and Archons are going to try and clean up this force, but to what end? Spades building 10 more Marauders and 2 more Marines. He's still got Vikings hanging out overhead. He lost his entire main here, And yeah, Attero's thinking twice about going up and trying to engage there when there's absolutely nothing left to save, except for part of an assimilator. And all these medevacs, of course, can just pick up and leave. Totally forgot about that. Lots of Marauders all rallying toward that gold base. Lots of Marines as well. 8 Marauders at a time. And another Ghost. There's a big drop happening here at the 5th base, actually. And Spades just crashing into these pylons. Can keep these Zealots at bay with all the concussive shells that he's got going on. And Attero's army is going to respond relatively slowly. He could pick up and try to get out of there. One medevac does go down to those 2 Archons, but the other one will manage to make it home. And Spades, after all is said and done, is up on Harvesters and up on supply by about 70. So let's look at just units lost, and you can see Attero's lost basically double that of Spades. Here we go. More engagements happening in the bottom highway. Storms dropping all over the place. These Marauders are actually taking a ton of damage. One more big storm could actually kill a lot of them, but again, to what end? Because Spades' production is actually unhindered at this point, and Attero really doesn't have anything going for him anymore, aside from this 4th base that he has. Actually, this gold base is going to get shut down once again. It was already killed twice, I believe. And Attero's not going to be able to hang on to that. 10 more Marauders, 2 more Marines being built just this second. 3 Archons being morphed for Attero. Huge bio ball pressing forward now. They've had their 3/3 upgrades for a while now. One big storm does land before the Templar actually gets killed off, so that was at least a nice little way to go out for that High Templar. 2 chargelets being warped in, and another forge. He did lose a couple of forges inside his main not too long ago. Looks like he has taken this 3rd base as a new main. He's got 8 warp gates, Cybernetics Core, Templar Archive. I'm not sure where that forge is. Oh wow, look at that. Just take it in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more gateways being added on. Spades back up to max, basically back up to full health. He just really has to dodge storms at this point and face roll through here. Everything getting canceled there from Attero. Looks like he wanted to build some cannons and a Nexus. Not going to happen. Forge goes down in just about 1 second. Assimilator also getting taken out. Now Spades really just has to decide which way does he want to go. He can go straight down into the natural, try and take on these High Templar head on, or he can continue to hit the sides over and over. He could even do drops, drop into the main right here, just load up everything, drop into the main, and then send everything else over at the natural. Could be a good tactic as well, as Attero really doesn't have enough fighting forces to deal with everything. He's got 6 Archons, which could be nice, but those 6 High Templar as well are going to need those money storms. 6 Ghosts, lots and lots of energy on each, ready to go here. Looks like Attero gonna try to move out with some charge lots. Definitely don't recommend that. Feedback on 1 Ghost instantly kills it, so they just trade a High Templar for a Ghost. Still have 5 intact though for Spades. He just needs to land splashes all over the place. Super fast 2 feedbacks there for that Templar. So 2 Templar for 3 Ghosts. Still a lot of energy. Oh, 2 more feedbacks. All the Ghosts are dead. No Impias are going to land, but there's really not a lot of High Templar left either. Let's look at those health bars. It looks like the Marauders in the center were a little bit squishier, but once these Archons go down, there's not enough energy for any more storms, and Spades is still with a 50 supply advantage. Medevac's trying to heal up everything they can. They're actually out of energy right now, so Spades really just needs to keep that Happy Feet micro sort of going here, and Attero is going to GG finally, and that's going to be it for Game 4. The series is now tied 2-2, so we could be on our way to a Game 7 here soon, but we've got to find out what happens in Game 5 coming up next.